Giving feedback in the context of a simulation is somewhat different from giving feedback on, say, an essay. When we give feedback on an essay, we're typically doing that at the end of the process, and we are doing it in a developmental way to think about how we might improve future essays, generically speaking. Because simulations tend to be rather exceptional, and we tend not to do most of our teaching through simulations, and because simulations are so variable, that kind of feed forward becomes a bit more difficult. When we're giving feedback, we want to give it on the individual, we want to give it on the group dynamic, we want it very much to be focused on the experience that the student has had. And so I think the first rule of giving feedback in a simulation context is the starting point is not you, it is them, the students. So usually I would be saying feedback should start off by you asking the students what it is they have learned. I think it's fair to say that I am constantly surprised by what students find is relevant and useful from their experience of a simulation. That they pick up elements that I haven't noticed or haven't even thought are important. But again, we're validating student-led learning, and that means saying it's not what I, the instructor, say is important that's important, because you've structured a game so you know roughly what they're going to talk about. It's about students engaging with that, and how they engage with that will come at lots of different points. So start off from what they think, and then to that add your own points of view. So you want to bring in any resources you've got, you look at the notes that you've made, you might show them a bit of video that you've taken that shows them what they can do, because it's very hard for students to step back and say, or recall exactly how was it in the room when we talked about this thing. All of those things can then feed in. But again, in terms of a developmental aspect, it's somewhat different from the essay, because they're unlikely, very unlikely, to be in the same situation again later. But we do want them to think a bit about the skills that they've developed. So it's not just about the knowledge, it's about the aptitude for social interaction, about communication, presentation, preparation that they've done, how do they negotiate with each other. That all our students, whatever subject they're going to do, are going to have to interact with other people at some point. So it's not just about aptitude for simulations, it's about aptitude and skills development for social interaction. And if we can keep all of those elements in the mix, then I think we can make feedback even more relevant and enhancing, not just in the context of the simulation itself, but in the context of the wider student development and learning process that they go through.